Good morning, Blink members. Ellen Thompson here, fitness manager and personal trainer at Blink Fitness Penn Station. We're super psyched to see that you're back again this morning as we dive through our 5K prep program. For those of you that are just jumping in, we are with our friends from Achilles International that are going to be with us all week long to help us run through some modifications for the exercises ahead. Particularly, we have their coach, Francesco Magisano, with us.
Hey, happy to be here. Good morning.
All right, so for today, what we're going to be focusing on is a posture workout. You're going to think, posture, back, but this is also going to include your core. So for today's workout, all you're going to need is a mat as well as 2 house objects that you could press and lift. You're looking for something from 3 pounds to maybe about up to 10 pounds. All right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to go through a warm-up stretch, then we're going to go through into strength circuits, and we're going to finish with a cool-down stretch. So we're going to be working in 30-second intervals, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. And we're going to start with that warm-up stretch. We're going to go into shoulder circles. We're going to bring the arms out to the side, and we're going to circle back nice and big. So Francesco, how does everything feel from yesterday's workout?
Yeah, it feels really good. I'm not going to lie, I was definitely feeling it in the core.
Gotcha. All right, we're going to come forward for about 5 to 10 reps. So for those that were not with us, Jeff, do you want to give them a little bit more information about Achilles International?
Yeah, sure. So Achilles is a nonprofit that works with people with disabilities and gets them active and moving. So our 5K race that we have coming up, Hope Possibility, is all about engaging people with all types of disabilities and able-bodied all around the country.
Awesome. And we're going to go into over crisscross arms now. So you're going to bring your arms outside, cross them over in front, loosen up through the neck. All right. And this is the first year you guys are going virtual, right?
Exactly. First year. So we've been doing this race for a long time, but it's great because we can engage people outside of New York City too. Nice.
All right. We're going to go into torso twist now. Arms out in front, hips are squared. You're going to rotate to your left. Again, keeping those hips squared. Come back center, rotate to the right. Let's keep that chest up. Focus breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And we're just going to rotate probably for about 10 reps or so here, just enough to loosen up through into the torso and your thoracic spine. So it's going to be really important for your posture today. All right, last movement for our warm-up is going to be our overhead lat stretch. We're going to bring the arms up and overhead, the hand around your wrist, and just pull that wrist lightly over to the side. Let's get a stretch down in along the rib cage. You're going to hold that for about 5 to 10 seconds, and then we're going to switch over to the other side. All right, and we are good right there. So for this first circuit, what we're looking at are 4 exercises. We're going to have 2 for the back, 2 for the core. We're going to go through them one after each other for 1 round and then circle back for 2 more rounds. Ready, Francesco?
Yeah, sounds good. Let's do it.
All right, so our first movement is going to be Superman with row. As I get this timer ready, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you guys really quick what this is going to look like, and then get going. So for the Superman with row, we want to get laying down onto the stomach. We're going to extend your legs out back behind you and your arms out in front. You're going to tuck your chin into the collarbone and lift your arms and legs up at the same time. You're going to squeeze those shoulders together and down, bringing your elbows into your rib cage, making sure those are parallel to the floor, and then straighten back out and relax, okay? Hopefully you guys vacuumed and there isn't too much on your floors this morning. So we're going to get going in 3, 2, 1, 30 seconds of Superman with row. Woo. So friend, you done this movement before when preparing for some of your runs?
I actually have, but not a lot. And it's a cool one that I forget that exists a lot. So
Gotcha.
It's definitely cool. I know some people hold a towel or something between their hands. I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah, I think that would actually be really good. Create more tension into those shoulder blades to work on that posture.
Yeah.
All right. So that right there was our 30 seconds of work. Now we have 30 seconds of rest. Next movement is going our dead bugs. Would you like to talk us through these?
Yeah, we're going to be on our backs, and our hands and knees are going to be up in the air bent, and we're basically extending the opposite leg and opposite arm straight. So we're working on that cross torso stretch.
All right, we're gonna go in 3, 2, 1, and let's begin dead minute.
I'm not gonna lie, I need to think for a second, like which one is the opposite.
It's so funny because I feel like this coordination is actually helpful than we realize as runners. Exactly what you were saying about that whole cross body, because especially when we're running, we're getting that twist through the torso, and our arms are coming forwards and backwards, making sure that we're, aligned and we're not over.
Exactly.
So, and that was 30 seconds. All right, so we're gonna go into our rest, and then we'll go into our next movement, which is going to be our, looks like we have our bird dogs next. So for these, we're gonna come over onto the hands and knees. We're gonna put the knees right below the hips. We're gonna have the palms right below the shoulders. We're gonna tuck the chin in. We're gonna kick your left leg out and your right arm forward. We're gonna hold 15 seconds on one side, then we'll switch and alternate. 15 seconds on the other side. All right, so we're gonna go 3, 2, 1, and let's begin. 15
I love this movement
seconds.
because it's like working on basically what the opposite we just did.
Right?
Flipped over. It's really complimentary.
All right, so we got about 3 more seconds, and let's switch. And again, guys, just pulling that belly button up and in towards the spine. When we go through the next round, we're gonna give you a lot more cues about keeping your hips level, which is really important as a runner. And we are good right there. Okay, so next movement is going to be leg raises. And since Francesco was like, oh, let's do flutter kicks yesterday, we're going to have him bring us leg raises because my core is still killing me.
That's awesome. Yeah, so we're basically going to be on our backs, and we're going to focus on that hip, that pelvis angle, and we're going to bring our legs up and down, trying not to touch the heel ground at the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
All right, if you say so. All right, we're in 3, 2, 1, and let's begin.
I will say try to keep that pelvis slightly, or in like a little crunch, just so you're not like hip flexing up.
Gotcha. I like to try to do like a 3 count when I come down, and as I do that, I really focus on just pushing that lower back down into that. Try not to strain my neck. Focus breathing. We got about 1 second left. All right, cool. All right, so we're gonna rest for 30, and then we're gonna do this circuit 2 more times. So anybody who was on yesterday, let us know the 5K, and also what movement yesterday really did a number on you, but like a good number. All right.
A good number. That's right.
About 10 seconds left here, and then we're going to go back into our super and we'll throw. All right, we'll give you a little bit more information on this movement as we go, okay? We're going to go in 3, 2, 1. So the reason why Francesco and I were like, we have to put this in, because it works a lot on scapular retraction. Pretty much those shoulder blades squeezing together and back, which is really important when it comes to posture. So this movement here can also be used as a warm-up movement before you do like a back day to really get activation into those lats. And you guys have 5 seconds left. You're just focusing on the raising the arms, squeezing on the shoulder blades, and back. All right, 30 seconds rest, and then we flip over into our dead bugs.
Yeah, I love that posture or that movement just because like we spend so much of our time like hunched forward, whether at like on a computer or something. So just getting that retraction is so nice.
Again, like we said yesterday, everyone's like running just about legs. It's not more than that. All right, so we're gonna go in 5, 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Whew. So what I like to do 2 times for this one is straighten my leg out when I come down bottom. I kind of look at that as like a progression. So that just putting a little bit more in my core there. But again, I'm trying to make sure I keep my lower back planted. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's really cool, actually.
I will say, though, the coordination throws me off. Who asked who else up? It's rusty on the coordination.
Yeah, that's for sure. I always have to stop and
30
think.
seconds.
All right, there we go.
So we got our rest. Next movement are our bird dogs. So whatever tips you got for this one, please share them, okay? Because I need something to take my mind off of trying to keep these hips level and that belly button pulled in.
Yeah, that's true.
We're going to go in about, we got 10 more seconds. Yeah,
Okay,
you share. I'll let you know when we're about to go. Hear that whole timer go off, okay?
Yeah, I love the timer. Like a sneaking Pink Panther sound. There we go.
All right, let's start.
Yeah,
Let's
I would say one thing
right
that
up.
I like to keep in mind is something you actually said for clients yesterday, which is just active. Think about that glute. So if our right leg is back, and think about that glute to keep things flat. Because I feel like the tendency when we're getting tired is our arm starts to droop. Yeah, switch it up. Our arm starts to droop and our lower back just starts to kind of arch. So just to keep everything flat, just thinking about keeping tension to that muscle.
All right, and we're good right there. 30 seconds. We're going to go into rest, and then we are back into our leg raises. So, this one definitely pace it so that this way you get more under tension for the core. This really works through into the lower abs. So, again, that's going to help with some of that control through the hips. All that, so this way you don't get strained in your lower back. I know some of you may feel that strain and pull in the lower back running, but the more you can keep the lower abs like nice and tight and braced, it reduces that. So we go 3, 2, 1, and we're raising up.
I will say one thing that I tend to do when I start fatiguing is to side rely on momentum for this movement.
Yeah.
Just trying to jerk it up and down. So just, keeping it controlled. Faster isn't necessarily better.
Whew. All these calls get me is crazy. Definitely threw some solid core movements into these works. All right, and we are good.
There we go.
Right there. All right, so we got one more round of this sketch. And I gotta say, I was not expecting to be sweating like this, so.
Me neither, not this early in the morning.
And I'm not chalking up to the humidity either. I really think it's the gout. All right, so we got about 10 more seconds. And then I'm thinking maybe during our dead bugs, if you could just share with us one of your most memorable experiences with Achilles. But before that, we'll go back into our Superman with row. Okay, so we're back onto the stomach, arms fully extended. Lift through the legs and arms, squeeze through your shoulder blades, pulling your elbows back and down. Inhale at the bottom, exhale as you come up. Feel that stretch through the back, light contractions to your lower back, and that pulling of the elbow in along your rib cage to allow lat activation. We got 5 seconds left, guys. Lifting through and relax.
All right.
All right, so we got rest, and then we go into dead bugs. So yeah, I'm really interested to hear about one of the most memorable experiences that you've had with Achilles.
Well, I'll say that the biggest things because I'm totally blind, I race with a guide, a sighted guide. That means all of our race experiences we share as a team, even a marathon, which you normally think as a single person sport. I have a whole team around me that helps me get mine. Just sharing those moments with people that totally understand what it took to get there.
We got dead bugs now. Ready? Let's go.
So honestly, that's just a really special thing that I didn't really get in regular sports as opposed to para sports.
Oh, wow. That is awesome. And I'm a marathon runner myself, so I just know what it's like to have that experience of the crowd, but for you to have it a whole nother way is so awesome.
Oh, it's definitely a whole other, it's fun.
All right, we got about 3 seconds left.
Yeah, they also see you in the moments where that happy,
Oh, yeah. All right, 30 seconds left, and then we're going to go back to our set of bird dogs. And you can find out on the Achilles site how to become a volunteer and stuff, right?
That's right. It's just AchillesInternational.org, and we have chapters all around the country and the world.
Oh, so cool. Looks like when I'm able to get back outdoors, it might give me something else to actually do.
Oh, please do.
And anybody else out there who's interested, let us know what your thoughts are on volunteering for such an organization. Okay, so we're going to go through into our bird dogs. 15 seconds. And guys, really try to start keeping your hips nice and level. We don't want your left hip flying out, that left leg kicks back. You will create that control by bracing through the core. Now we're going to switch opposite sides. You want to try to reach those fingertips all the way forward, kick that toe all the way back. Let's keep that chin top. Everything staying nice and level. We have 3, 2, 1, and you are good right there. I know I dropped my arm a little bit early, guys, but I had to get that timer stopped. All right, so last movement are leg braces, and last round of them. Thank goodness, right? And then next up will be our water break, and then we'll be going into that second circuit. So we have 15 seconds left. We're going to get back down onto the mat. Make sure that we're all in, because we're going to start in about 5 seconds. All right, 3, 2, 1, and here we go.
Yeah, I'll say for all these movements, just try to remember to let go of tension in your neck. If you're feeling any sort of tension or pain in your neck or upper shoulders, try to remember this. We're not trying to crunch your neck right now,
Yeah, we're trying to do the complete opposite, which is maintain our posture and really loosen up through that up back and those shoulders. Right, so we're coming up, we're racing the core, slow down, and you're good right there. I gotta say, having you talk through this with me definitely makes 30 seconds fly by. Right, so we just did that first circuit. We went through 2 movements for our back and then 2 for the core. What we're gonna do now is water break, and then we're gonna get into our next circuit, which is gonna focus a lot more into our shoulders. All right?
Cool, sounds good.
All right, guys, hopefully that water was delicious, because we're getting to our second circuit here. We're going to again go through 4 exercises. We're doing 2 for your shoulders now and 2 for your core. We're going to do 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, run through all 4, and back to that circuit 2 more times. We're going to start with the overhead presses. So if you have weights, awesome. Let's grab those household items that you had, and we're going to do overhead presses. For these, we're going to have our elbows out to 90 degrees. Our palms will face forward. Our knuckles will be up towards the ceiling. You're going to brace your core. You're going to exhale as you press those weights or household objects up over your head. Biceps are pretty much in line with your ears, and then you're going to come back down, elbows at 90. We're going to go in a 3, 2, and my timing doesn't go with my unlocking my phone. 1.
That's it.
All right, here we go. Straight up. So let's make sure you squeeze your glutes to help keep hips in line with your rib cage. Try not to build any tension into the neck like we were on that last circuit. All right, we're halfway through. Just make sure that you keep your palms forward, knuckles up, elbows are at 90 when you come down. We have about 5 seconds left here, and just no straining. Focus on that breathing, and you are good right there. Francesco, you are working with a backpack on that one. You want to give us a little bit more information on what it's like to have those arms closer together?
Yeah, I'll say, well, obviously it depends on the size of your bag, but just having different size weights, like even like a sandbag or a bigger stuff thing, it changes up the grip, and I feel like it changes up the difference, when I'm pressing, like, for example, with a barbell than with a bag or something. So it's just interesting to have different things.
Hitting different to the shoulder. All right.
Yeah.
So we got 10 seconds left of rest. We go into side crunches. So as we get into those side crunches, you want to talk us through this one?
Yeah, definitely. So.
And we're going to go in 3, 2, 1.
There we go.
All right.
So we're going to start on one side, pick the side I'm on my left, and basically my cue is just trying to touch my right elbow to my right quad. And I'd say the biggest thing here is as you fatigue, you're going to want to flatten out to use your whole ab and just try to stay on your side.
All right. So that was 15 seconds. So let's the opposite side. All right, I'm going to pause that timer for a second, and I'm restarting it.
All right. And same thing here. Just try to activate that side. Don't flatten out.
All right, and we're good right there.
Awesome.
And for our rest, what we're going to do is we're going to go over the next movement, which is going to be our rear delt raises. So I'm going to be using the candles again. Francesco, what are you going to be using for yours?
I have another bag actually, so I'm going to use both, or two bags.
Cool. So you want to talk us through this. We're going to start in about 8 seconds. So let me get that timer up. And once we get going into it, if you just want to give us a quick down. So let's
basically
go.
So I'm going to be hinged and I'm going to be raising my arms back behind me. And because we're working a relatively small muscle like a rear delt, it's not about moving a ton of weight. It's just making sure to isolate that little muscle right on the back of our shoulders.
Okay. And again, this is another good muscle to hit for posture, right?
Oh, definitely. That reminds me of like ripping a ripcord on a lawnmower.
Don't want to be out there in this heat doing it. And you're good right there at 30 seconds. Okay, and then our next movement in this circuit is going to be reverse crunches, or you could do ab knee tucks as well. So, Francesco, I'm going to have you bring us through these lower ab movements because you are pretty much pro at all these core movements.
I wish. No. Good.
All right, so we're going to go in about 5 seconds. So we're just going to get laying down onto the mat, and we're going to go right now.
You're going to be up. We're basically focusing on contracting those abs. Try not to rock back and forward, which I find I do when I have less control than I should. And it's just angling that, bringing our pelvis closer to our rib cage.
So if we wanted to, could we also sit up and then place our hands back behind us and do a little bit more of that scoop action?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that just targets lower ab, right? Or just slightly lower.
All right. We got our rest. So we've got our first circuit done, our first round of this done. We got the first 4 movements in. And what we're going to do is the rest of this break and then head into our overhead presses. Okay, guys? So the overhead presses, really important shoulder stability that helps work on posture. So you think, sure, is back, and we also told you core, but the shoulders come into play here too. And we're going to go in 3, 2, 1. All right, so Francesco. So again, you want to tell us a little bit more about that neutral grip that you're working with, because my grip is not, I have my palms forward on these, okay?
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to have a pronated grip on a backpack. So my hands are facing each other. And that's just, it's just a different angle that I feel is working the as I'm raising the bag above my head.
Gotcha.
I will say one thing to keep in mind is try not to drop the bag. Well, time's over.
Gotcha.
Not actually drop, but don't let the weight carry it down, right? Control the downward.
Got it. And also for anybody that may have any type of impingement or shoulder issues, going into that neutral grip is way less aggressive, a little bit more safe, and you could still get that activation through the shoulders without risking any type of issue. So we got 7 seconds left, and then we're going to go back into the side crunches. All right, so we're going to get you guys laying over on, we're going to get the knees stacked, and we're going to go right now.
All right.
All right, so hands in
also,
back.
the thing to keep in mind is it's not about sitting all the way up, right? This is it's kind of a small movement. It's just shortening our right rib cage to our right side of the pelvis.
Gotcha. So I also like to make sure that I keep my hips squared forward and I'm not rounding back. All right, and we're going to switch over opposite side. 15 seconds. Make sure that you're not pulling through the neck, and let's go. Just focus on that breathing into the nose, out through the mouth, keeping everything squared. Whew, where are we at there? Come back on. All right, we got about 3 seconds left. And we are good on that one. All right, next movement is going to be those rear delt raises. And again, since you're working with bags, like you said, it's going to give momentum coming down, which is going to give more work to try to control that pace. And again, you guys want a tiny little muscle back behind the shoulder. It's going to be back behind the shoulder, kind of connecting in towards your tricep. It's a very, very tiny guy in there. And we are going now. So I also like to focus on keeping my knees lightly bent, keeping my hips back, and keeping my chin tucked into my collarbone so that this way there's no straining through my neck and no straining through my lower back.
Yeah,
so we're halfway through. Whew. Now these candles that I'm using, they're a little bit lighter, so this is doing a number on my grip.
Oh, that's awesome.
Good benefit, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we got 30 more seconds of rest, and we're gonna go with those lower ab knee tucks. All right,
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna try sitting up this time.
Everyone out there, out of these shoulder movements, which ones do you guys like best? Which ones are you actually doing more often than you realize? And how are you gonna play into your posture? So we kind of gave you the tips on how, but we want you guys to go out there, run, experience it, and feel it, and let us know, okay? We're gonna go in 1 second.
There we go.
All right, so lower ab, knee tuck. So I'm gonna sit up, I'm placing my hands back, down, and behind me. I'm pulling those knees in, focusing just into that lower ab. And I think to make it a little bit more difficult, I'm gonna kick my out a little bit further and then pull them in.
Yeah,
again, I'll make sure I'm also making sure I'm not activating my hip flexors or my quads. And it's just right there with that pelvic tip. All right, we got one more round of this.
One more round.
Yep, 30 seconds rest, and then we're back into overhead presses. Whew.
What are you using for weights for the overhead?
I am using two tools. One is Tahitian vanilla, and the other one is summer strawberry. So let's just say it smells delightful in here. We got about 5 more seconds, which I guess is better than the smell wet. So I am about that. Yeah. Right, here we go into those overhead presses. So we're just going to make sure for those using any house objects such as cans or bottles, elbows are out. You're keeping your knuckles up and your palms forward. However, you can do this how Francesco has been. You can just rotate your elbow in front of you and power up with those palms facing in. But again, still keep those biceps in line with your shoulders and not riding too far out in front of your face.
Sure.
All right, and good right there. We're going to go back into our rest period. And then we go into the side crunches. So Francesco, for these side crunches, I've been keeping my knees stacked one on top of each other and just kind of reaching my elbow to my hip. You'd still say that that's pretty beneficial, right?
Oh, definitely. I'll try it this time because I usually do it with one knee pointed to the ceiling. So I'll try it full stack this time and see if I notice a difference.
Okay, so we got 5 more seconds and then we'll go into our last round of side crunches. And then we're back into the rear delt raises after that. All right, cool. 15 seconds. The thing I try to be really mindful of with this, and you guys out there too, try to be full of, is don't push through the side that's on the mat. You're really just using your obliques to get you up. And we're gonna switch right now.
Ooh, I don't know if I like this.
Is it harder? Ready? We're gonna go back.
The easier way.
15. But just think, you gave them a progression right there.
Oh, okay. See, I like how you turned that. Thank you.
Yeah, see? Especially coming from you that's been putting all these core movements in here.
Yes.
Okay, we got our rest and then rear delt raises one more time. Gotta make sure when you're doing the rear delt raises, you're not getting too much tension up in through the neck, the base of the skull, into like the top of the shoulders. You do want to keep this right below that shoulder line where it connects into your arm, okay? We got about 8 more seconds and we will get into this. Got 3, 2, 1, and here we go.
And again, because this is such a small muscle, like don't be put off if you have to use a much lighter weight. You know, it's definitely a smaller movement, a smaller muscle trying to work here.
Yeah, and it's kind of just like true for a 5K. Like, don't go out there being like, I'm running this full mile nonstop. It's like, no, just take it easy. Do like, a minute and 30 jogging, walk for maybe a minute, and then jog it back out for maybe 2 minutes. You don't have to move into big stuff right away. All right, and we're good there. Last round of those. Then we're back into the leg raises. Oh, sorry, not leg raises. Sorry, apologies. We're going to the lower ab knees. I think it's just all these core movements. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to go through that one again. All right, so we're going to go, well, because they're all hitting our lower abs, which is really important. So we'll see how I feel tomorrow morning when we meet up again for our next workout.
That's right. At least it's leg focused.
I know, thank good tomorrow's legs. That's like my strong suit. I am excited for that one. Okay, so we're going to go in about 10 seconds. Just a breather, get yourself positioned, and I'm going to sit up a lift for this one. I'm going to place my hands back behind my back, and here we go. Last movement this is our third round, so last movement in the workout all together.
That's very true. Good job for everyone sticking through.
Yeah. I gotta say, you hanging out with us in the mornings kind of makes getting up and through a workout a little bit easier. Easier in the sense mentally, because these movements are not as easy as you think.
No, definitely not.
So we're just gonna scoop through that lower ab, pull those knees in, and you are good right there.
Cool.
All right, guys, now it is for our cool down stretch. So those of you that were with us yesterday, we're going to be going similar stretches. We're going to be going through our rear delt stretch because, again, we were just working those muscles. So, Francesco, if you want to talk us through that rear delt stretch. I'm going to be kneeling as I do this.
Oh, yeah, maybe I should kneel too.
Okay. You can stand.
No, you're right. Arm will be across, and we're basically pulling through, get that rear delt really, and just relax into it.
Okay.
If you want, lean a bit to the side. I feel like that gets me really.
Ooh, I like that.
And then switch
sides.
Like
right in there. Ooh. All right, and then our next one is child's pose. Again, all that lower cork that we did. Again, we want to make sure that that lower back wasn't really pulling on you. So it's going to kneel onto the mat. You're going to sit your butt onto your heels. You're going to have the top of your nice and flat on the mat. You're going to take your hands, place them down in front of you with arms extended. Walk your fingertips forward to the edge of the mat while you tuck your chest down over your quads. Keep that chin tucked in. And this is going to allow you to stretch for about like 5-10 seconds. Loosen up through the neck and shoulders. You can wiggle the arms around a little bit. And then we'll come up. And we're going to go into our chest stretch that we did yesterday. Sorry, guys. Francesco, do you want to talk us through this one really quick?
Yeah, feel free to use the back of the chair or a couch or something to like pin your hand. And you're basically stretching that pec out with our arm going behind. And just kind of lean into it a little bit. Just feel it. Especially after you worked it, you're going to feel that stretch. Mm-hmm. And then switch sides.
I like doing this one with clients where I give them a stretch strap and they clasp onto the strap and I'm just behind trying to pull that strap back as much as I can as they lean forward.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
And I think that's probably 6 feet of social distancing.
Depends on how long the strap is.
Yeah, right? All right. So, guys, that was our posture workout for this thing. We hit through into your back, your shoulders, your core, which is going to be really valuable when you're out there running. And then tomorrow morning, we are back with the continuation of our 5K prep series in which we focus on legs and pretty much lower body.
Oh yeah, it's going to be great. Think legs in a lot of different directions.
See you guys tomorrow morning.
See ya.